My English word was in a stagnant state for nearly 14 days, so the expansion started. Wait, the hot summer began to cool, the ideas began to clear. Our cohort was great to see yoga group, a teaching tapestry, acronym mixing, unraveling the mystery. It all started with the S-I. Social life 15 really is not that long, as every great idea was formed in less than time. Sing the song, a fraction of a second, and inspiration was made. Started the day and all the toys met the fate. They tried to stay the same, but they were late. They all think we broke their asses off. We passed the games and our teaching practice. You wouldn't wanna be It all started with the S-I. It's expanding ever outward, but one day it will never ever go the other way. Floating ever outward, we won't be the same. It won't be heard. Our best and brightest futures that'll make an even bigger bang. Old teaching self would really have been sick of us debating why we're here. They're managing fear, we're catching the excitement. Thomas Newkirk, Troy Hicks, Peter Elder, Donald Drake. It all started with the S-I. National Writing Project, Jen and Madonna. It all started with the S-I. It all started with the S-I.
Good morning and welcome to Education and Society. I'm Professor Barnhart, BA in ENG, BA in SPAN, MA in ENGED, and NBPTS certified. OMG, right? Perhaps that joke is a little too hippy-dippy for this crowd. Alright then, we'll begin with opening remarks. Dr. Barnhart, would you like to start us off by discussing your assessment of your newfound responsibility to society?
Sure. I think all branches of education have to move cautiously these days. It's not just the giant Common Core machine that can destroy the teaching world. As a teacher of 9 years, I can tell you even the tiniest of mechanisms can begin to control you.
Interesting. I think what you might need to know about my colleague is that she's a bit of an exaggerator. She claims, like Newkirk, that expression is too individual and idiosyncratic to be judged by a machine, but she has certainly spent her fair share of time as part of the standardization machine, creating curriculum and lauding rigor in the classroom.
I think Mr. Debbie Downer here needs to know to keep in mind that standards are useful if they don't proliferate, and not to confuse standards with standardization. But he should know that I am the kind of girl who, like Dewey and Newkirk, understand that action and reflection lead to the wisdom of practice. Are we talking about the idea that when we stop experimenting and tinkering, we stop living as teachers?
Other Professor Barnhart, would you care to join the conversation?
Certainly. I'd like to raise 2 points. Number 1, I think we are all talking about being playful as teachers. And number 2, this mimosa, like bubbles of the digital world, is making me happy.
I'd like to be that happy.
Then join me.
Oh, I don't know. It's hard to find the time to play around with all of these digital tools. Maybe you should just sprinkle the digital stuff in rather than crawling into bed with it.
I've already done that, but it's time to do more. Yeah, literacy is more than the ability to code and decode.
Excuse me, but you're right. We're teaching a process, not a product.
Yeah, this ain't no closed system. Hack it, girl! Remix!
Alright, why don't we see if we can bring this back to topic? Let me ask you something, Barnhart. I guess not. How would you feel if someone told you you had to totally change yourself?
You don't have to.
What? I don't have to systematically change?
I like to weigh in here. No.
Alright, why don't we open it up to a Q&A from the audience?
Yeah, I have a question. What are you going to do after the institute?
I'm going to share my learning as a teacher and a fellow. Hack it!